Aloha and welcome to Remote Promote. For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome and thank you for being here. Remote Promote is a project that was created with the intention to support business owners and entrepreneurs during this time, and that the online communities would be surprised and delighted at the talents and treasures they found here. And today, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you Andrea Pelletier. And she is a beautiful opera singer, and we'll actually have the pleasure of hearing her today. She's been singing her whole life, and she's been in the business of opera singing for 15 years. She has an album, her first album coming out in the fall called The Queen of Opera. And she's also started a nonprofit called Sing for the World Foundation. So welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, we're delighted. So first of all, just share with us, what is it that you do and why you do this?
Well, I am an opera singer, and I've been doing this although I've been singing for about 15 years, I've been doing it full time, really only for about a year and a half. Prior to that, I was in real estate. And so we went from doing real estate sales, started a brokerage, and I always said I was going to go back to the music. And after we moved to Hawaii 2 years ago, I said, this is a really good time to do what I've always been called to do. And I love opera so much. I love singing it. And it just seemed like the perfect time to do it, since we lived here in a place that seems to really enjoy the arts as much as they do here on the Big Island. And yeah, it's just been a really exciting time to start singing.
Oh, it's so great. And I know what you shared with me, one of your dreams is that people fall in love with opera and that you have the opportunity to sing to all 7.7 billion people on the planet, which I love big dreams. So tell us, what actually sets you apart in your industry?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that I like having an advantage on is knowing the business side of really anything. And I think it can translate to any industry. And so having been in real estate as long as I was, and understanding just a different side of an industry, which is more, again, the business side, not just the performing part, excuse me. Whereas the majority of the time when I was singing before, it was really about the logistics and the technique and all those things, and that's most opera singers. And then once you graduate, it's just often see who's going to pick you up, which opera fest you're going to go to, or opera competitions, which opera houses will contract you. For me, it was different. I went, again, a very business side of things, and I'm able to integrate that now into singing, where I can be my own sole proprietor, which every opera singer is, but I just have an understanding about that. And also from online and social media, and using online platforms to my benefit, where now with the pandemic, opera singers are really starting to see the benefit of that. And so I feel like I've had a head start on that for quite a few years. So understanding how to record my vocals and not just do things live, which is what traditional opera singers do. So I just think that side of it, digital business, all of that, sets me apart from what you would think of as a typical opera singer would do, just singing on the stage.
No, that's great. I know I've enjoyed watching you online and listening to you sing. Would you mind sharing some of your singing with us?
Yeah, I will do a little bit of O mio babino caro, and this is actually the first aria I ever heard when I was 11. So I love singing it as kind of like a starter piece. So I'll do a little bit. O mio babino caro, mi piace. There you go.
Wow, that's amazing. I cannot wait for your album to come out in the fall. So great. Thank you. And do you have any tips for entrepreneurs? Any pivots you've made that you would love to share?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So like I said, as an opera singer, what we are trained to do when we're in school, being a voice major, it's about the diction, the technique, the music history, and all those things. But one class, and I've actually taken a lot of polls on Facebook groups about this. One class that really all of us worldwide weren't really offered, with the exception of a few conservatories, was a class on the business of the industry. And so really understanding, how do you put yourself out there? Do you need a CV? What kind of headshot to use? Who to even reach out to? What artist management companies will pick you up, and how you can approach them, and all of that. And so I would say, remember at the end of the day that you are in business for yourself, and no one can promote you better than you can promote yourself. No one can, and no one will sell you like you can sell yourself, because you know your product more than anything. So no matter the industry, you know you and what you have to offer. And don't wait for other people to put your music out there. We're seeing right now, actually, post-pandemic, that so many opera singers, with so many cancellations around the world, that they're not sure what to do. And so some will go into, they will go into doing voice lessons, and then others will, put on their own performances. And I think that that's excellent. You really have to know what you're in it for. So if you're in this business for the, really because you just love to sing so much, then start learning how to use GarageBand and online platforms to get your voice recorded. And if you really like to perform live and you don't really like the recorded stuff so much, learn how to start live streaming yourself in groups. That's what I do. And so I would say, find other ways to get your voice out there and let yourself be heard. Some people really like to teach, and so they go that route, but I find that most opera singers, what they really like is they just love the joy of singing. So keep doing it. So this is happening. Keep putting yourself out there and promote yourself as much as you can. And there's really never too much promotion, in my opinion.
That's awesome. Thank you. Do you have any special offerings to offer the online communities at this time?
Oh, yes. So with the album coming out in the fall, I do have a free song download. So if you sign up for our newsletter on queenofopera.com, and if you put that in, then you will be able to get the free song download, which happens to be the opener of the album, and probably the song that I'm most proud of to do, Mythodea #9. And it's so pretty. So if you want to hear what I'm talking about, then put your email in, and then we'll send you that song download.
Oh, thank you so much for your generosity. I'm really looking forward to it, because I'm going to do it. So, and thanks again for joining us, Deandra. It's so delightful to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. And if you are interested in showcasing your business here on Remote Promote, we would love to hear from you. Or if you know of somebody that has a business that you'd like to see showcased here, we would love to hear from you as well. And until next time, aloha.
Aloha.